today. We're having a conversation that a lot of people probably never thought would happen on this platform.
Yeah.
We got Munchie B in here.
What's the deal? What's the deal?
I'm pretty excited to have this conversation just because it was suggested by Flacco a couple years ago that we do this. I felt like the timing wasn't right for me on a personal level, so I know you guys did something on his channel at that time. Yeah. But, you know, I've like gradually become a fan of yours through watching the clips of the podcast on Street TV. Shout out to Alex and everything. Yeah, I feel like definitely like you're a really talented broadcaster regardless of anything that, you know, we probably won't agree on, or like people that you're not a fan of that I was close to at one point and stuff like that. So I'm happy to have this conversation.
I'm glad you brought it up. I'm about to be like, address the first elephant in the room. I know that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, we might as well get right into it.
Yeah, because I seen Rockstar like, man, why you don't interview Munchie? And
right.
You said what you said.
Yeah, because it's not like I had anything personally against you. In reality, is I interview people all the time. They got issues with each other, and I don't personally get involved or anything like that. My only reason for saying no at that time back then was just because there's very, very few rappers that I really like get close to on a personal level. And when one of them dies, if I go and like start having conversations with somebody who's been, you know, probably one of the most vocal people in terms of insulting that person, that could definitely look weird for me, look clout chasey, look like I'm trying to, you know, be a little bit too mixy. And reality is that I don't really, like, in terms of how the standard I hold myself to, I feel like everybody deserves a voice, especially in this LA media shit. And, you know, I don't think it's right for me to just like block somebody from being on the podcast just because they don't get along with somebody that I'm close to. So, you know, I feel like it's a valid conversation to have.
Yeah. You know, you got the clout chasey title anyway, though. You know what I'm saying?
This is true.
So that, you know.
Right.
Yeah. But I get it, though.
So how did you feel when Flacco told you back then that I wasn't trying to do it? How did you take it at that time?
I kind of expected that a little bit. Mm-hmm. I kind of expected that because, I was saying, you was like a real supporter of dude. You know what I'm saying? And you was at his court dates and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of like, you know what I'm saying? I know a little bit more than other people know as far as you in this relationship and shit. So I kind of expected it a little bit. So we just went on and did it on Flacco channel.
Right.
His Get Up, you know what I'm saying?
Listen, and each clip, right? So like, for example, like when we first dropped it, I think like the clips did probably like, I'll say like 2,000 like first day. But now like I went back and checked to see like what the clips was. And like each clip was over like 50,000 views. Mm-hmm. I said, damn, bro, right? Like folks really care about his story, you know?
Definitely.
Oh yeah, I ain't never checked back since like that long while ago. Yeah.
But if we want to go back even a little bit further, so while Drakeo was still locked up, I did a video where I basically was like breaking down his case. And years later, or like a significant period of time later, when I ended up finding out about who Munchie B was, I go to Instagram, I look at your profile, I check the DM, and I see that you had actually messaged me when that video came out, basically telling me that I should be careful with speaking on street shit when I don't have the whole story, and telling me that some of the information that I was putting out there was incorrect.
No, it's kind of like when you was reporting, and I said you coming from like a fan standpoint, or that's your boy, and then the other person that's involved with the whole thing is like that person like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, he been tried over and over again for the same crime, this and that. And because of that, you know what I'm saying, and the other subject evolved like just because of that nigga, or like the homie nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, did you get what I'm saying?
I definitely, yeah, when I made that video, I definitely didn't want to act as if the person who lost their life that like kind of started the whole situation, that like their life was worth less than anybody else involved in it. So I apologize if it came off that way. That definitely wasn't
that's what
my
I was
intention.
saying in the thing. But I know as many followers you got, that shit went straight to request. You probably didn't see it anyway until you seen it, like you just said right now. But that was my thing, just that old boy, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, and then everything with him is like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
Martin Luther King or some shit. Like,
Yeah, because I mean, most of the shit that I put in that video realistically was drawn from like Jeff Weiss's reporting that he did on the whole Drakeo situation, and he was
Who
a
is
Drakeo. Jeff Weiss is like a reporter who has done a lot of like really, really good journalism about hip hop over the years. He used to be with LA Weekly. He still writes for the LA Times and shit. He has his own site called Passion of the Weiss, and yeah, basically, you know, he was a Drakeo fan, friend, etc. So I'm sure that everything that he reported on, especially at that time when he was advocating for Drakeo to be released and not to be tried the second time and everything, he, I'm sure, was coming at it from a perspective that was mostly positive about Drakeo too. But that's like one of the things that because, you know, you're probably the closest link that we're going to get to sort of understanding Red Bull and the origins of that kind of situation in the first place, right?
hey, but and then on top of that, we don't want that type of justice anyway. We don't do the police or stay in jail. Ain't nobody rooting for nobody to stay in jail. You know what I mean? How we rock it, you know how they take it. We hold court in the streets type thing. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So for that's one thing. You know what I mean? And then the dude, I think he's coming from like that everybody know Drakeo, so he coming from that standpoint. You know what I mean? The artist, I guess. You know what I mean? You say he do for LA Times?
Jeff Weiss, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, but you know, it is what it is and was what it was. But that's why I hit you up though, because it seemed like you just putting the homie off like he just like he's in jail because you know what I'm saying, just waving the homie off and then you know what I'm saying, because there's people, family members still living and still gotta watch this shit. You know what I'm saying? And it gets sent to their phones and all that. You know what I mean? Just like the boy from Empire, what's his name? Ghazi. Okay, Drakeo dropped a project after his passing, but like 5 of the songs on there is disrespecting me and referencing me. So then if I say something, then I'm disrespecting the dead, but y'all put a project out after he passed away, still disrespecting people though. So then what? So if I say something back, then I'm the bad guy, right? Like weird shit like that though, but maybe it wasn't the Ghazi dude selected what go on now. Maybe it was Ralphie, I don't know. But shit like that, like, you know what I'm saying? They should be thinking like they mom don't want to hear the disrespect coming back they son way, so let it die out, let it rest and shit, but they don't think like that.
But we've seen that dynamic play out in rap over and over and over, like the whole O-Block Quando Rondo situation, where when you really look at like what Quando Rondo and his homies did in that situation, it's kind of hard to find fault with what they did. They basically just shot at a dude who was walking up and trying to attack their rapper. But then when history gets written, Quando basically gets blackballed out the industry, and they act like, you know, Vaughn was a saint and shit like that. But that happens all the time. But I'm saying like Drakeo was probably the most popular rapper in this conversation, so people are going to kind of treat you and anybody associated with you like the bad guys as a result. And I'm sure that you've seen that over and over in your comments and shit, right?
Oh yeah, no, it been a comment. It don't bother me though. Like I don't trip, you know what I mean? Like I just take a different. I do the podcast thing, and then you know it's gonna run up anyway. If the content cool, it's gonna run up. They gonna be the dudes that's his fans, and they gonna say long live Drakeo or try to disrespect me, but they still supporting. They leaving comments and shit. They don't know they help me. Keep doing it, I guess. I don't let it bother me per se. I'm just saying for my homie that's resting, and people still want to put out disrespectful songs, and he's gone or whatever. Then that's where my problem came in. I ain't worried about the disrespect with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool. I ain't tripping. There's somebody that can't speak for themselves, and then when I do it, like it's a problem. Nobody see who thought of rock. You know what I'm saying? But then again, it be the popular vote, so it's, you know, it get like that.